Do not be deceived by this face of makeup because your girl has worked over 70 hours every day this week. Whoa. If that doesn't tell you how tired I am, then I don't know what does. I have worked at least 72 hours for the last, I don't even know, for sure 5 weeks. And I just worked a 25-hour shift yesterday to this morning. Slept an hour on that shift. But I'm happy to be here because I'm here. I'm at home. I'm not in the hospital for once in my life. You guys, residency it's a whirlwind, and I hope that you got a seatbelt that will secure you to your seat because you guys, I want your transition into residency to be as smooth and seamless as possible, because if you at least try to make it as seamless as possible, it's only going to be a little less painful, but it's a huge shock to the system, and nothing can truly prepare you for residency. I figured that giving you a laundry list of quote unquote essentials might be helpful for you. I've actually been getting a lot of questions about, I'm starting residency. What should I get? What should I buy? And I don't want you to go out and buy a bunch of things, because I did that. I bought a bunch of things that I thought would be useful, but I didn't end up using half of the things. I also asked a bunch of residents on Instagram to give their input on what they find are useful items to have as a resident. What this video is not going to tell you to do is to study. Do not study. Do not worry about step 3. Don't worry about level 3. Don't worry about studying for the residency. You don't need to do that. Please, 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 please enjoy the little bit of time and freedom that you have left. Please. You will be regretting it if you sat inside and studied. Go have fun, enjoy yourselves, because the clock is ticking where you're not going to be able to do so much of that anymore. By the way, I'll try to have everything linked down below so you can check out those items that I'm recommending throughout this video. The most frequent response on here: pens. Everyone's like, you should have a bunch of pens. You should have good pens, multicolored pens. And I completely agree. Do not invest in an expensive set of pens, because you might lose these pens. People might steal these pens. But I found a really nice set of pens on Amazon that I've actually gifted to other residents, and they love them. And everyone who uses my pen, they are obsessed. And I'm like, don't steal that. That's mine. They're very inexpensive. They write really nice. And also they're pretty aesthetically pleasing, which I appreciate. The next most common thing listed on this list are water bottles. And a lot of people are saying you need to have a good water bottle. I completely agree. I completely agree. You can be a Stanley gal and have a Stanley. I do not bring this to work typically. This was gifted to me and I actually kind of understand the hype, but it's just too bulky. There's too much going on here. Too much real estate to be lugging around back and forth. Water break. Having a good water bottle that will encourage you to drink water, that you can carry around really easily. This one is from Ello, and I really like this one, but get yourself a nice water bottle that will promote hydration. You do have night shifts or 24 hours in your residency program, which I don't know. I feel like all do. I don't know about the 24, but definitely all have some sort of night shift involved. Bringing your own fuzzy blanket to the hospital. When we do have an opportunity to sleep on the shift, I sleep so much better when I have my own personal blanket with me. It is somewhat of a hassle to bring it to and from your shift, but I feel like it makes the world of a difference for sleeping at the hospital, and I feel more rested when I have my own personal belongings with me. And so trying to emulate my own bed as much as possible while sleeping at the hospital helps. Next on the list would be a backpack or bag of some sort that is nice and sturdy to take to and from the hospital. Obviously, mine is from Calpac. I just find this one really sturdy and comfortable, and it will sit upright like wherever I put it. And I can clean it with a wipe, like a purple top wipes, to just clean it if it gets weird and nasty if I put it on the floor. That's that. Another item recommended by others and even myself is having an Apple Watch. I know some of y'all have not converted to the better side of the mobile phone industry, aka y'all still use an Android. What are you doing? But get an iPhone. Switch to Apple if you haven't made the switch. Just do it. No shade on anyone who uses Android. I feel like it speaks for itself, but having a smartwatch of any kind is just really helpful because you've got a life outside of the hospital. Sometimes emergencies happen with your family or whatever it is, and they're trying to contact you. If you don't have your phone readily available, you can at least look at your watch and know whether this is an urgent message that you need to respond to or whatever it is. Or if anyone's texting you, messaging you, Tiger connecting you, you can see it and it's helpful. I don't know. It's just standard. You need a watch, and I feel like a smartwatch is the best way to go because of the text message phone call feature that you can have on the watch. The next thing on the list, having a good eye mask. And if you've got lashes like I do, you can get ones that are more like cups and they don't mess up your eyelashes. Just a small little thing. But having a good eye mask, I think they've done studies where people get better sleep with eye masks on. So that's definitely a must. And then also having blackout curtains in your room because, you know, after a night shift, how are you going to sleep when the sun's blaring in through your window? So blackout curtains are an absolute must. Yeah. The next thing on this list is not physical, but if you know me and you've seen my videos or you've seen my journey through depression video, then you knew that this was coming. But having something available to you to be able to help and support your mental health is an absolute must. And of course, one of these things might be your support network, your group of people, your core people that you've hopefully established by now in your life that are available to you, whether that's your close friend, your family, your partner, that you can talk to when you're having a hard time. Sometimes that's not always available to us. Sometimes we feel like we don't want to burden these loved ones in our lives. And sometimes they don't know how to give the advice to you. That's okay. That's not their fault. Something that I have found helpful is having a therapist. And so this video is actually sponsored by BetterHelp. I know talking to a therapist can be a weird concept. You're like, who is this person? They don't know me, but all of a sudden I'm unloading all my personal emotions out here and I'm crying in front of this person who doesn't even know me. That honestly is the best part about it. And another wonderful part about it that you have to remember is that these people are trained to listen to you. They're trained to process your words and your problems and respond appropriately and give you advice that is helpful, beneficial, that can help you think, grow, change your perspective, whatever it is. And I love my support people so much, but sometimes they don't know how to respond because they are not trained to do this. That's not their job, and I cannot expect that of them. You have to talk about how you're feeling. You can't just sweep it under the rug because it's going to still be there. So that's why I find that having a therapist is really, really, really helpful. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist that can be available to you to listen to you and give you helpful, unbiased advice. And the first thing you have to do is just go to their website. Go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Rachel Southard, and you answer a few questions. They link you with a professional, and they do it rather quickly. They match you within about 48 hours. And then you have someone to talk to that has years of experience, and they've also been helping people with similar struggles like yours. In residency, you don't have a lot of time. You don't have that time to drive to a therapist's office and, you know, work in a time in their schedule that also fits your schedule. It's practically impossible. But what's really great about BetterHelp is that it's so convenient because you can be on your phone, your tablet, your computer. You can message, phone call, or video chat a therapist and have your little session. Let BetterHelp connect you with a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your home. All you have to do is go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Rachel Southard or choose Rachel Southard, my channel, at checkout, and you can enjoy a special discount for your first month. The next category on this list would be apparel. So shoes is a huge thing. Everyone listed on this list. I guess the type of shoe that you wear will kind of be dictated by if you're in the operating room or not. OBGYN, we got the best of both worlds where we have a lot of surgical things, and then we have clinic time. I personally don't really wear running shoes at the hospital because oftentimes we end up with blood or amniotic fluid everywhere. We end up in the OR or doing something, you know, with bodily fluids. I tend to not wear tennis shoes because they get stained. But when I have worn tennis shoes for the few times that I do, what was that sentence? These On Clouds, I really like these a lot. They're super comfortable, easy to slip on and off. They're really lightweight, but I don't wear them a lot. I see people in the hospital wearing Hokas. If you're interested in not getting a sneaker and you want a different kind of shoe, I 100% recommend Calzeros. I have a link down below. I think the code is Dr. Rachel. But Calzeros are so cute. You guys have seen it if you've seen my videos or my Instagram. They're the pink little clog. They have different colors and they have different styles. I love these. They feel good. They don't slip off. They're lightweight. They're easy to clean. My back doesn't feel bad after wearing it when you're standing in them all day. I highly recommend a Calzero or a Dance Go. Those feel really nice as well. And then Birkenstocks. Let me show you my Birkenstocks. Since you're in the hospital for residency, I feel like it's really important to have a shoe that you wear to the hospital and then you change once you get there, because I personally do not want to track my little feet all over this world in shoes that have been inside the hospital, because there's a lot of stuff in there. And I don't know, it's no different from being outside, but still it's like hospital, and you see the stuff that's on the floor in there sometimes, and you know that you've walked through it, and I don't know, it stresses out my brain. So I wear Birkenstocks to the hospital. These are like my favorite ever. They're so comfortable. This is just a little, I don't know, slip-on clog thing. I really like them. Another type of shoe that I see a lot are Crocs, and that was actually mentioned in some of these responses here. A lot of people like Crocs, and I see a lot of nurses wearing Crocs. They do appear comfy, but if you are in a surgical field, I don't recommend the ones that have the holes in the top, because they're just going to simply seep through into your socks, and that is not enjoyable. Trust. The next thing would be having a warm jacket. The hospital is pretty cold, and so you need a good jacket. Some people recommend a fleece jacket, or just some sort of zip up jacket. Not really a pullover crew neck type gal, because being on L&D, like I would have to take that whole thing off when I need to go to a delivery. So having a zip up jacket is pretty helpful. Janu has great jackets, Patagonia, North Face. Another thing people mention, and I kind of wore these in the beginning of the year, but then I stopped wearing them because my legs would get too hot and itchy. But compression stockings, I really should wear them, because I'm going to have some really bad veins later on in life. That's my own problem. But having some compression stockings, I know they sell some on Amazon. Bombas has really nice ones, kind of expensive, but you're going to wear these a lot, you guys. So I would just invest in something that's going to last for quite a bit. Another important thing in the apparel category would be a nice pair of scrubs. You can't just wear the hospital crunchy scrubs all the time. They're so not comfortable. And especially if you're in clinic, get a nice pair of scrubs. You won't regret it. You just look more put together, and believe it or not, how we present ourselves to patients really reflects how you take care of yourself, and then that translates to how you will take care of somebody else. Looking nice and not ragged and run through and completely exhausted while you are interacting with patients is pretty important. And so I love Janu scrubs. That's all that I wear if I'm not wearing my crunchy hospital distributed scrubs. It's an absolute must. This is a limited edition color that they have, but I freaking love these scrubs. They are beautiful, soft, flexible, comfy. It's a must. Check them out. The next few items are more toiletry based. So having eye drops, don't get the red eye Visine ones or whatever. Get like an eye lubricating eye drop. Having a good chapstick, a reliable chapstick, having multiple chapsticks because you might lose them. Having hand lotion that's really hydrating is important, because your hands obviously get super dry after using the hospital hand sanitizer all over the place. So love having some hand lotion. Having a little deodorant. Having a toothbrush, toothpaste with you at all times. Some people might find that excessive, but I literally spend so much time at the hospital that that's really important for me to feel good and feel clean, and if I need to refresh in any way. Next thing on here, having a little personal pharmacy in your backpack. There's been so many times where I've been, again, at the hospital and I've got a massive migraine, I've got GERD, I have whatever it is. So the things that I like to carry in my backpack are my allergy medicine, Tylenol / ibuprofen, like the combo. I like to carry Tiger Balm for my muscles, aches and pains, especially operating. Those C-sections oftentimes kink my neck. Tums, Pepto-Bismol, definitely need those things. It's an absolute must to have a little pharmacy in your backpack. Anyways, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I know it's not like a huge list, but it is a solid list of essentials. You do not need to buy a bunch of random things. You're not going to end up using it. These are things that I personally find super helpful, and a lot of other residents on the internet also find very helpful. So trust us. You know, we're already here in this position, and we just want you to be successful and comfortable and prepared. Don't worry about studying. Just get these little tiny essentials, get excited, enjoy the time that you have now before starting residency, because like I said, it just goes away. It just really just goes away. That is it for this video. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, other recommendations for essentials you find really helpful, please leave it in the comments section down below. And again, I always love reading your guys' comments and interacting with you guys. It makes my whole day. So I love you all so much. If you are starting residency, good luck. You've got this. Please, please, please. Your mental health, yourself comes first. Do not forget that. Until next time, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, continue to work hard and all the good stuff. Okay, bye.